So I'm back. This time I'm getting in front of the camera so I can speak directly to you guys. And the Diary of a Chief AI Officer was just a little bit of fun. And I just want to roll back. So I've done 14 issues now. And the idea was, could I use AI to help me build an agentic workflow so you could research top topics, look at my end of week review. And then the idea was, on a Sunday, could add some value to people who follow me. So when I do an end of week review, I check in on my journal. I look back and I go, what was my week's wins? How will they improve? And what am I grateful for? And I just want to have a quick shout out, people I'm grateful for. There's a lot of people who are following me now over on LinkedIn. And since I've been doing the newsletter, I've had some fantastic comments. I've had some not so fantastic comments as well. The feedback is always gold. And I just want to give a special mention to Ant Clay, Fawad Gill as well, and John Cook, Rocky, Phil Morgan, who were champion to share these ideas. So just thank you for that. So I had to put down this diary so I could pick it back up again. And let me get into this. Let me unpack this. So I often get asked, what is it I do? What is it ThinkCloud does? I thought, I'm just going to set the record straight. So for me, I'm obsessed with entrepreneurship. I think entrepreneurs build Britain. That's it for me. And I think if I can give entrepreneurs the tools and the belief so they can grow with AI, because when they grow, it's going to create jobs. Jobs are going to change lives. And I'm really, really passionate about entrepreneurship. I think technology has got a massive place. So if we unravel, the buzzword is AI today, but let's just roll it back. It is technology. And if you follow me, you'll see this week I've put on that I'm now on the board for Hull College, which is just an amazing organisation to be part of. I walked through the doors when I was 16 as a carpenter and joiner. I'm now walking back in as a Chief AI Officer and hopefully going to help them do more. And I think it's an organisation that's really close to my heart. Straight off the heels of that, I've had Hull University's Business School reach out to me, and I'm also looking to go on the board again there. And I think someone asking me, why am I involved in two massive organisations like the university and the college? I just think it's so important now because AI is going to change everything. And the idea of this blog came from, I watch a fantastic podcast or vlog over on YouTube every Sunday. It's called Moonshots. If you've not watched it, tune into them. They're doing some amazing work over there. My only challenge, I think sometimes it is too American, and I think we need our own British version. So there might be some collaboration there in the future, you never know. But I really do believe that AI does give us a moonshot. So the first thing I want to unpack this week, what I've been thinking a lot about, is it was 10 years of Andy's Man Club, which I think is just incredible when I step back and think about what that organisation, one, means to me, the impact it had on my own life and those around me. And I was asked, and I wrote a little bit about this, I was asked to go back to Andy's Man Club off-site. There's a new room of trustees and staff, most I've never even met. And there's an old line that I used to use all the time, what got us here won't get us where we're going. And I have no idea where that comes from. For me, what got us here won't get us there where we're going. When you have a mission like Andy's Man Club, which is to stop the devastation that a death by suicide brings to our family, all of a sudden you get really laser focused on what your next actions are. And I think unravelling that, for other organisations, I think can be quite difficult when we start asking about mission and values and how do we act in the world. And I shared a fantastic video, that a sampling video had put together for us this week about ThinkCloud's core values and mission, and the team put that together. Great work with Madison, Scott over there, and Harvey jumping in, and Tommy. And I think for me, culture is so important. It's like the glue that holds everything together. And just been reflecting these sort of past 10 years. I think it was like 9 years ago, we went to Kilimanjaro, 8-9 years ago. Me and Luke was having a good conversation about that. We held the highest Andy's Man Club in the world, top of Kilimanjaro, and this was just at the point when I was about to join Scott. And you look back, I'm a big believer in gut. I got asked, what is it I do? Why do I want to do what I do? And I'm just obsessed with technology. So like right now, I'm challenging myself to get in front of the camera. I'm playing with my new Insta Pro mic. I'm playing with the Insta camera. I'm just obsessed with playing with technology. And I think something really important around leadership and around lessons, teaching people how to use AI and tech. For me, you've got to be curious. You've got to find a narrative and you've got to be hungry to learn. And I think sometimes it's really difficult when people are saying to you, I want to use AI, I want to use technology. How does it fit into your workflow? So why did I leave Andy's Man Club? Well, a couple of reasons. I originally set up for Paul Longley. Paul, his own story, and Paul went on to grow something that is now called Think Mental Health, and he no longer needed Andy's Man Club. And I originally set up to help him. That was the original reason, with some great friends of mine. And I think the big challenge was Paul no longer needed it, and I didn't feel the charity really needed me. They'd got to a point where there was big enough, there was resilient, and it was part of that next chapter. When you bring curiosity and learning and you follow your heart, I really struggled when I made that decision. But then that opened up space, and you'll have seen over that sort of past 2 years, I've been doing a lot more work at the University of Hull, which eventually led me to be the lead AI adjunct. I'm an entrepreneur in residence there as well, and then again, just being asked to be on the board has been incredible. And it comes from trying to share lessons, and I use it for R&D for myself, for my own learning, and I've really challenged myself these last couple of years to really get in front of a lecture theatre with students and delegates, actually build with AI. And I want to give a special mention to Christina. I'm sure she's watching it. She did a fantastic job with the rest of the university creating the creative growth. And I went back and I did a creative growth alumni masterclass, and the early title back then was Redesign the Work Before It Redesigned You. And that's, again, underpinning a framework that I've put together called IKIG-AI, and that's where that came from, out of that room. I wanted to go in and give delegates, a tool, a lens for them to look at the business, and then how could they then look at the business and use technology to grow. But I think what we're seeing in this tech world, I'll share a graphic in a minute around the developer space, because infrastructure is always by one of the big cloud providers, Google Cloud, Microsoft Azure, Amazon AWS. There is others obviously around there. So the infrastructure, cloud has always been the cloud, right? The developer infrastructure now is changing like never before, and I'll share a slide so you can see it here. But when you look at this, OpenAI and Anthropic have come best onto the scene. I think we are going to see that shift as well with some of the Chinese and open-weighted models, and that's maybe not for this podcast right now or this vlog. But I got asked, what could I teach Illuminati and around AI, and I got asked to come back in and do an AI Sandpit, which you've seen me talk about on previous newsletters. And the AI Sandpit actually really took off, because I got challenged over 2 days. What could I help entrepreneurs who walk into with an idea, and the idea is, can they strength test that idea, and after day 2 can they walk out with a working prototype? That was the challenge set. And what I did was, with this newsletter's been me using a workflow. I'm trying to use AI within my end of week review, my brain ajar. And when you look at, when I took this newsletter offline, the AI skills and the workflow I was wrestling with had gone mechanical. It just wasn't me. Hence why I wanted to get back in front of the camera now. And I needed a demo for the AI Sandpit. So I used this diary. I also used a framework that I use over at ThinkCloud, over at the university, where it maps your own skills. So what's your own skills, your own, what I call domain knowledge? What are you as a human? What are you known for? What are you remembered for? What's your own area of expertise? And we've all got our own uniqueness. It then maps up your job role in terms of the work you do, or the company that you're working within, and then it will help you put a 90-day roadmap together. Now, this used to be a manual process, so again, I wanted to bring that to life with AI so we could automate it. And I wanted to make sure that nobody in the room watched the demo. I wanted us to build an app, a website, an idea, all sat there together on that journey. So this is sort of the past couple of weeks. I've been out on the road with Madison all week. I've been out seeing clients of ThinkCloud, and we've been sharing, or Madison's been sharing, how she runs our marketing and what digital tools she's using within that. Also, I've been walking Madison through our digital maturity framework that all of our clients have as part of their account management meetings, and how we use that as a lens. I also lecture, again, across the digital maturity framework, and went deep into our clients' value propositions, and we use the value proposition canvas, and I'll link into some sort of B-roll here as well, where you can see some of these digital tools, because from the AI Sandpit, I was able to build tools such as the value proposition canvas that was interactive. I'll put a link if you've never done a value proposition canvas on your own business. It's the place I would start, number one, if you want to start growing. And then look at how you can use digital tools to add value. So in the example that you'll see on screen, I map Uber's value proposition. And then I've helped build some tools where you can click a little button, and if you're new to the blog and this feed, you'll know that I'm obsessed with MD files. An MD file is called Markdown file, and it's just a file that AI loves to be able to communicate and collaborate with, rather than Word files and PDFs and things like that. If you don't know what an MD file is, drop a comment and I will share with you a little agent or a little skill where you can build your own MD file, either in Copilot or Claude or whatever the AI tool is you use yourself. Where AI fascinates me is we're able to build and code things in HTML. If you don't know what HTML is, it's what a lot of the web is built on. And then you can go through and build unique value propositions or unique services that clients can use, or delegates, like when I'm working on the AI programs. And I've been building some skills that I use and teaching on my teaching courses and teaching materials, but I've also been using them digital ones to enhance ThinkCloud's value proposition as well, launching some new skills and some new content in our Cloud Academy, which will be coming into this month. But I think the core thing, being out on the road this last couple of weeks, is listening to clients, and what I wanted to make sure was really true for clients is they need to hear that AI grows what they can already do. So when you're using the value proposition canvas, these are time-bound principles that help you grow your business. AI is not going to replace them principles, but it's going to enable you to grow faster using them. So it's been a big month as July, and feel like it's still July now, and it's August the 10th, I think, as I'm recording this. But Microsoft shipped 7 things last month, which I think deserve a mention. So now when you're in Copilot, you can use the at mention. So you can go at mention Word, Excel or PowerPoint inside Copilot, and then it will build a file in there. So the blank page moves, you start in the conversation, and then you can also PowerPoint at a deck you like, and then it'll rebuild that in your style. So your best deck becomes the house style, if you like. And then Teams are a fantastic update. So if you go into Teams, it's now got a Teams recap app, and you can filter what you missed, and you can stop sitting in meetings, out of fear, really. You can jump in and you can catch up. And then Word edits with track changes on, which I think is fantastic. So the gap between using it and trusting it. So all of a sudden, now when you're using Copilot and Word, you can go into track changes, you can see the track changes, what Copilot's done, which I think is an absolute game changer. And then your brand kit, it applies itself. So in Excel and Word and PowerPoint, so the format goes. So all of a sudden we can start using brand kits across Copilot to really drive and maximise that brand across the organisation. And also the Copilot phone app now pings you with your day and what's waiting. The 7th one is, I don't think many people are talking about it. So Copilot Studio can now run GitHub Copilot Harness. So the first 6 make Copilot better at the job it already had. This one for me is an absolute game changer. It changes what you're allowed to build. So if you've ever been to one of my seminars or one of my lectures, or you've heard me speak, you'll hear me obsessed with that. I'm always describing large language models like a brain in a jar, LLM. And for me, the harness is the jar. So what I want to connect everyone to understand, so if we go back and Copilot now connects into GitHub, the model is a brain, the harness is the runtime sat between you and it. And it decides when to call the model, what to send to it, what to do with it when it comes back, and which tool to reach for. You can make Word, Excel, PowerPoint, PDF. It's got memory, and it's all built in Copilot credits, which I'll put another link if you want to understand how you can work on credits. I've built a Copilot credits calculator as well. So standard harness follows the rules. You write predictable, build on a license, so you can still use the standard harness within Microsoft as well, so it doesn't go on credits. So Copilot chat harness, your knowledge inside Microsoft 365 Copilot chat, and it's internal to you only. So I think the harness is going to be the game changer. Whoever builds your agents, which harness are they running it on? If nobody knows, that's going to be a challenge. So we want to be looking at, when we're building with AI, have we got options to use different harnesses, or is there only one option? So something I've shared about a lot, I have an 100 hours rule, and I want to talk about mastery. And mastery might just be 10,000 hours, right? You might need 10,000 hours to master something, but I'm a huge believer to get good at something, you only need 100 hours, right? So, imagine 20 minutes a week, an hour a week, and that's why I love doing this newsletter, because it's my way to just really drive that 100 hours of learning. What is your 100 hours? So if you're thinking about learning Microsoft Copilot, don't get into GitHub, but think about the 6 things I've just told you, the 6 updates. Go learn them, go use them, go try them, right? Or you might want to go bigger on the 7th step, like me, GitHub. It's all about GitHub. So I've got to go deep on GitHub. This month I'm going to be learning more, but hence why I built the Diary of a Chief AI Officer website, why I've built the app. It all sits and lives within GitHub right now. So I'll also have a little plug for the next AI Basics cohort at Hull University. 70% funded for anyone living or working Hull in East Yorkshire. Just drop an email to exec-education@hull.ac.uk or drop a comment below AI Basics and I'll send you a link there as well. We're back with the next cohort on Tuesday the 17th and 18th of August, so I'm really looking forward to seeing where we can go with that, because the world of AI has changed like before since I first started with the first cohorts. So something else, if you want to go see what I've been building, go look at the app I've built, the Diary of a Chief AI Officer. So for the art of possibilities, just think, if you can code in HTML, what does that do to your business, your value proposition? It's just a little bit of fun. I always talk about the races on, so I wanted to build a 3D website and Sandpit environment, and I want you to go have a look, go have a click around, go see if you can break it. It's these placeholders text, it's a little bit rough around the edges, but go play with the app that I've built as well. Something key on that is just a sandpit. It is just a bit of fun. So what's your sandpit? I want to set a challenge, 100 hours using AI, business, in your personal life. Build your own Diary of a Chief AI Officer website. Go build your own assessment tool. Go build your own app. You need something to go play with. It's going to be my challenge. If you'd like to have a chat with me about GitHub and the new Copilot Studio, reach out to me. You need to speak to me. Comment below. That's Leon checking out, and that was the first Diary of a Chief AI Officer vlog.